Hi everyone, I know I haven't made a video in a while, and the last video I made had no audio, so I'm just going to say what I said, sort of what I said before. I won't say exactly what I said before because I don't remember. I know it takes too long to watch the video and then lip read to figure out what I said, but I made a significant realization throughout my life, just right today actually. Or was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday. It's probably yesterday. Either way, it was either today or yesterday. It was probably yesterday. That I am not similarly attracted to people as it is. I'm similarly attracted to the pleasure of a person, and it's really weird because that means that anyone could be pleasurable. And yeah, I'd be similarly attracted to them, and the more pleasurable they are, the more I would be attracted to them. And so it makes me, in a way, easy to get, but at the same time it means that I'm kind of don't know the right word, unknown to the average, if that makes any sense. I'm kind of a niche, I think, and it makes my life really weird because when I see a person, it doesn't matter if they're ugly or beautiful or whatever. It's more about how their entire self pleasures me, and yeah, that's really the conclusion, is that's what it is. And that's why my life has been so weird in relationships. Partly is because I've never been into the person. It's more like I'm into the pleasure parts, which makes me seem like this kind of selfish person who's only into the, you know, in a relationship for the intimacy, and it's nothing like that at all. It's a much bigger thing for me. I don't know, it's just a really weird place to be in. So this is why I find being with women very difficult, because they're too wired in this, like, I can't have sex. It's like they're missing. You know, I know it's difficult for men to perform and all this, but the men who want to perform, you know, will do great things, or decent things at least, you know, or okay things at best. Not at best, at worst. Well, at worst it would be them not doing anything, or dying. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say, really. Otherwise, I've just been just trying to figure out what is the deal with human relationships, and the answer is life decision similarity. When the life decision is similar enough between two people, so if the life decision of each member of a two-party group independently, if they're similar, sorry, wait, let me put this another way. If the life decision similarity between two people is similar enough, they will work in a relationship, guaranteed. There is no way to fault it. It's an energetic fact, and that is the solution to everyone's problem when it comes to sociology or anything to do with a human interaction. If your life decision, if you have life decision similarity, you're gonna be good. But if you don't, then you're gonna have a lot of issues, depending on the ratio, or the range of your dissimilarity between the two people, the person you're with and yourself. And that's something I've learnt recently. I've also made significant changes, you know, to my anatomical function, pattern theory stuff, which, you know, the ISFPs and ESFPs are actually differences. ISTPs and ESTPs are actioners, so they're all about action, and ISTJs and ESTJs are all about noticing, or noticers, that's what I call them. So an ISTJ absorbs noticing, an ESTJ reflects noticing, and it kind of makes sense if you think about it. And ISTP absorbs action, and ESTP reflects action. That's why you see ESTPs running on splitty surfers in the sea and all that kind of shit, and they're always acting really like in action, like they're on a TV show in a way almost. It's kind of interesting, but so that's that, and that's basically I pretty much completed the anatomical function pattern namology, at least on the top, the base of it, I think. So you have differences, noticers, actioners, experiencers, intensifiers, reactioners, positioners, and harmonizers, and that's all 8 of them. That's the 8 functions of of any anatomical being on Earth, regardless if it's a human or not. They're going to follow one or more of those 8 things, and they're either going to reflect it, or they're going to absorb it, or they're going to be a combination of the both. And there's no way to dispute it. That's it. I've done it. I've done it. That's it. That's the complete understanding of a human. Like when you go up to a person and you're like, oh, I don't know how they're going to act. If you follow one of those 8 functions that I just said, or you put them into combination and you sort of do some, decent thinking, you can put it together and make sense of it. So if you're going to someone who seems to be very different, or absorbing difference, or you can see that person will be someone who it's a lot more complicated than that. I mean, there's other ways to do it. You can use namology as well, and visuals and all this stuff to figure it out, but I guess it would help in a conversation sense more than it would help in a sort of personally for me it does, but I have to use other techniques, so I'm still working out like how you can easily pick out a person, say, okay, that person's a differencer, that person's a noticer. I mean, you can kind of see it if you know what you're looking for. So I don't know, it's more like it's more like a functionality categorization rather than a indicator of someone's type, to be honest, which makes it rather annoying, but it's useful when when you can do the work to go, okay, that person's a differencer because they have this name and blah blah blah. Like for instance, ISFPs have names where it's like it's usually like Liam Martin or Stan Winston, but it's like there's like a weird quality to the first name, and then it's like 2 syllables on the second name, like Liam. So there's a weird quality to that, because this Liam that has 2 L's on his name, and Stan is like ST. It's kind of weird if you think about it. And then the second name is like Martin Winston, and then another ISFP, Michael Jackson. And Michael has a kind of weird duality to it, or some kind of weirdness to it. And then the second name has the second one, 2 syllables, and then like for INTPs, Richard Dawkins, Charles Darwin. Do you get it? And then like for ENTPs like myself, although I consider myself an XTNP, which means like an ambivert NTP, because I can be introverted, I can just be in my mind all day long and not give a shit, and I can reflect my experiences out to other people and thoroughly enjoy it. So I think I'm an ambivert, and I'm going to say that from now on, which is going to be more interesting, I think, and just better off for my sake, because that's the kind of person I am. But like ENTP, Barbara Lazita, Leonardo da Vinci, Dominic Hughes, it all relates. It's all patterns, and where people will start. But I don't think other people can. Some people are just not going to get it, and it's just going to be something I keep to myself, I guess, or I'll just share in my videos and people can watch it and go, "Oh, I learned so much," and it's like, yes, I know you did. But anyways, so that's just like, it's kind of going off topic, but yeah, so it's just amazing that I'm that kind of person. That's why I can play with intimate toys and thoroughly enjoy it, because it's like I don't need. The only reason I like the human form in a relationship sense is because I get more of a pleasurable experience from it. That's it. And I'm not trying to be selfish. It's just that's my world, and I listen to music for the pleasure. I listen to movies for the pleasure. I listen to people for the pleasure and the insight and the enlightenment and the safety and blah 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 blah. I don't listen to people because I'm not trying to be rude or anything with it, but I mean their personality is if their personality is pleasurable to me, then I'm going to listen. And if it's not pleasurable to me, then I'm just not going to listen. It doesn't make me selfish, and because I can still be considerate to someone, I can still listen to them and go, and really thoroughly understand. If I find them pleasurable, decently pleasurable, I can sit there and I can listen to them and understand their life and figure out all their problems in life and then solve them for them and help them make better ideas and talk about ideas and theorize ideas, which makes me an INTP in a way, and also makes me an INTP in a way. See, ambivert, because I'm surrounded by introverts in my family, so no doubt that I would have had influence to be more of an introvert, even though through watching internet and just living my life and watching experiences, realized I want to make my own experiences, and that's where the ENTP side came out. So that's why I'm such a weird person as well, because sometimes I'm really extroverted and sometimes I'm really ambiverted, and then I have all these weird disorders which make it even more weird. So I've got like Asperger's and ADHD and all kinds of other social anxiety. I definitely have Asperger's and I definitely have social anxiety. There's no question about it. I don't give a shit. Like seriously, no doubt. In ADHD, I don't know what that's about. I don't know. Maybe I think it's more when I'm talking than it is when I'm talking on text or I'm speaking to someone, I'm conversationalizing with someone. It comes out more often. Then I'm sort of, I don't know. I think I'm. My voice is kind of, but my voice could be fast because of Asperger's. So it's sort of catch-22 or something. I don't know if I have ADHD, to be honest. And I probably said that before. Anyways, at one time I said I didn't know if I had Asperger's, but now I'm certain. I've done so many tests now that I can confirm personally that I have it, at least in some form, and it makes sense. I have a weird quality, weird artisan-like vibe that Asperger's share, and there's all kinds of other things that make me think that I am. But yeah. So that's really interesting, I guess, just that's my situation at the moment. But I've finally figured out the problem in my relationships. It's life decision dissimilarity. So that's it. So when I'm talking to someone and I need to figure out how they made their decisions in life, and I actually need to build a system that everyone else can use as well, that just simplifies this process, so that everyone, as soon as you see a person, you can just like, okay, they did this thing at this point in their life, they did that at this point in their life, and and then you can just, okay, if this person is similar to you because they made these life choices, and that will also determine how they think as well. It's amazing stuff. It's life decision determination. It can tell you everything about a person. It seriously, it can tell you how they think, the way they think, why they think, who they are, why they are, blah 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 blah. Everything about a human, everything about a personality and a way of life can be determined by the life decision that someone makes, or life decisions that someone makes, and there's no way to dispute it. It's a fact, and it's something I figured out on my own through thinking all these problems that I've had in my life. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say, really. Apart from that, it's just same old, just working on projects at the moment. I'm having, it's an extremely challenging but actually fun process, is this Myris video game project. I don't really want to go into it too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but because it's going to be quite, if I get it done, it's going to be something quite revolutionary, really. But I will make more videos on it like I did. I've been making some Myris updates every so often, so I'll make some update eventually. But for the most part, I've just been like watching loads of videos and learning, and just taking a break from YouTube. I'm just learning and trying to make this game and trying to make the sex toys and stuff, and it's all really going well, actually. But I might as well just go into this as an offshoot. Well, no, it's not offshoot, it's kind of irrelevant, but I've had experiences with other women in my time, and a few times some guys on the internet and stuff, but yeah, it does seem like if I'm not pleasured by them, I'm just not interested, and I've found that with my current open sexual medium, because I don't really consider them girlfriend or boyfriend for obvious reasons. yeah, sometimes I'm very pleasured by her, and sometimes I'm not. And we've only been talking on the internet at this point, but we're going to be meeting up, I hope, eventually. Although I've been honestly questioning if I even want to be with her anymore, and like I've questioned this so many times, because I don't know. It's just, but like I think that's just more like, oh. I mean, there's many reasons why I could do it, and there's many reasons why I don't want to. And I guess I'll go into the reason why I do. I mean, one of the reasons why I do is because then I can get my Ableton push, and that sounds like a really selfish thing. But understanding that I haven't had a proper time to really build music again properly, where it's actually like a song with, without, using a keyboard or some other piece of shit is very hard for me. But that's only a very minor reason. I mean, one of the more major reasons is just on the pleasure front. It's like, yes, I'm at times I'm very pleasured by her. I think it's not really that. I think it's more like I'm just getting so used to her that it's like there's nothing that the charm that she was has kind of just has disappeared. So when I look at her, it's like I'm just seeing a blank slate with some fluffy, like pleasury notes on it, rather than this like not extravagant, but rather profound, not pretty profound, but intense would be more accurate. Yeah, moderate. I think that's more a moderate pleasure from her, and it doesn't help that she's very not very socially sensical. I just, when we talk, there's no sense in it. Like, it's just random discussion with no real progression, and it's really irritating. So that doesn't help. So I mean, yeah, and I don't really want to. I'm not saying I'm dissatisfied. But in a way I am, and in a way I'm not. So, but it's the best I have for now. And if I get anything better, am I just going to ditch her? Probably not. But I can't guarantee that, because I don't think I would ditch her, because I've got this. There is this side of me is like I feel sorry for her, because like I think she has a difficult time with people. Period, and there's all these other reasons why. But I think I'm okay with her, because not just with her, because I want to meet other people. But obviously, there's no way I'm going to be with Nora for the rest of my life. I'm sorry, there's no way. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to be with her. I wouldn't. That doesn't mean that I'm going to like ditch her. I mean, I don't know. It's like I have to have a reason. Honestly, I just want to have the intimacy. I don't give a shit anymore. Like, at this point in my life, I honestly don't give a fuck about like how much I love the person. It's more like just the pleasure side of it, because I just want to have to learn. I just want to have time to learn and understand it, and because I don't get a chance to do that often, if at all, very rarely. So that's probably my reason why I'm sticking around the longest, or one of my reasons. And then the other reason I care for her welfare. I really do want to see her do something better than, whatever, sitting at home and being tormented in a way, not directly, but no, kind of, not physically, but emotionally and mentally tormented by an ex-boyfriend, and but she has to live with that, because of all the situation that she's in, and I won't go into all of that too much, but it's just annoying. It's just like just seeing someone go through all that and not try and fix it in any way, and having to, well, they can't fix it, I guess, and all this, but so it's all very difficult stuff, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm sticking around. Sometimes it's hard though. Another reason is like I do get pleasured by her, at least in some form. So that's another reason. And she is a harmonizer. That's another reason. Not that it's not exactly that difficult for a experiencer to get with the harmonizer, because they're kind of in a way similar in that the harmonizer idealizes their people, and the experiencer kind of tries to make that happen, or tries in some form. So I guess it works hand in hand in that way. So I don't know. So the only way, so I'm not looking to end it with her, but sometimes it's just like, oh, I just can't be asked anymore, because it's like there's just nothing. There's nothing more to gain than the little things that I've said, as far as I can see, and it's really disconcerting. But yeah, this has kind of turned into a life diary, which, yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's not, because I'm not talking about my life much more. I'm just talking about like realizations, and I am talking about my life a little bit. So it's like a half life diary and half like insight into like realizations. So yeah, that is it. So I'll stick around for as long as she'll have me, and see if I can warp my head into being pleased by her more, so I can get back into that world again. But I don't know, I think I'm just done with talking as a medium of conversation. I think at the moment, I want to get to the tactile stuff now. I'm just so tired with communication with people. It's like, I don't even care what your passions are anymore. As long as you have some way of being pleasurably intimate, that's really all that I care about at the moment. And it sounds selfish, but it's not, because it's like, you have to see it from my point of view, right? Pleasure is my world, not whatever else. I don't really give a shit about like thoughts and emotions per se, unless they're like enlightening, or for safety, or for helping someone or themselves, or something like that, or for them to express themselves with the intent of progressing, or something like that. Or whatever. Otherwise, it's just like, I don't care, because it's really pointless. Like, apart from like being useful, well, I guess it's not pointless in that sort of information or informative way, but I don't know, it's just weird. So there you go. So an even longer video than before, and yeah. So will there be another video? Probably. I don't know when it'll be. It'll probably when I make another realization, or some other big change on the YouTube channel here. So yeah. I just want to make people's life better, I guess. And I think I'm obsessive about helping others. I've noticed, and I don't know if that annoys people. I mean, I can see if I was being helped by someone, it would be kind of weird, but it's not that. I'm not trying to be an annoying kind of help. I'm trying to be like, I'll give you money, and I'll give you this, and I'll give you intimacy and everything you need if I can, and I'm pleasurable, and we have a life decision similarity and all that kind of stuff in some form, or even if you don't, well, depending on how dissimilar you are, will determine if I help you or not, because I'm not going to help someone who's a religious person. Sorry, you probably are better off dying. Sorry if that sounds selfish or whatever. I mean, that doesn't mean that, I don't know, there's a fine line. I mean, if it was like a life and death situation where like a plane crashed into a house or something, or something, decently severe, like a car crash, I might help them, but at the same time, I'm like, not sure. Because I know everyone deserves a life and a chance, but, yeah, I guess that would be my excuse for helping a religious person, would be everyone deserves a chance to live, but then I would just ditch. Like, I'd be okay, here you helped, are you good? Alright then, goodbye. Sorry. Obviously I'd help them to the hospital or whatever, and make sure they got a nurse or something if I had to, if I could handle that, mentally, emotionally, and all that, and then I would be like, okay, bye. And if they ask me why, I'd be like, because I completely agree with you, but you deserve to live if that is your choice. kind of thing, something like that. Anyway, so I think that's all. Yeah, I will be back with some more whatever, me, obviously, and yeah, bye, see you when the screen comes back on.